Again, when we talk about relationships, we often hear people warning us about the red flags, the signs that something is wrong. But today, I want to flip that conversation. Let's focus on the green flags. These are the signs that you're in a healthy, strong relationship worth nurturing. When two people enter into a relationship, the foundation of everything they build together rests heavily on communication. It's not just about talking frequently, it's about the quality, depth, and openness of those conversations. A healthy communication is one of the clearest indicators that a relationship has the potential to thrive. It creates trust, strengthens emotional intimacy, and prevents misunderstandings from growing into conflicts that can fracture the bond. When communication is open and genuine, partners feel heard, valued, and understood, and that sense of connection becomes the glue that holds them together. Imagine a couple where one partner always avoids expressing what they truly feel out of fear of being judged, dismissed, or even ignored. Over time, resentment begins to build because the unspoken emotions accumulate like heavy baggage. On the other hand, when both partners feel safe to express even uncomfortable truths, the relationship becomes a space of freedom rather than confinement. A healthy communication doesn't mean you will always agree. It means you can respectfully disagree, discuss the differences, and still feel secure in each other's commitment. It's the difference between arguing to win and discussing to understand. Another critical element of healthy communication is active listening. Many people think they are listening when in reality they are simply waiting for their turn to respond. Active listening means putting aside distractions, silencing the inner urge to counter, argue, and focusing completely on the other person's perspective. When your partner feels genuinely listened to, they feel seen in a way that deepens intimacy. Something as simple as saying, "I understand why you feel that way," can make a huge difference. It doesn't mean you're conceding or agreeing. It just shows that you value their experience as real and valid. Communication also requires vulnerability. Sharing hopes, fears, insecurities, and dreams can feel risky because it opens us up to potential rejection or misunderstanding. Yet when your partner responds with compassion and care, it builds immense trust. The more two people practice this kind of openness, the more they come to rely on each other, not just for companionship, but for emotional refuge. It's through communication that partners reveal their authentic selves and slowly create a unique language of love, an understanding that only the two of them share. In modern relationships, external distractions like social media, work pressures, and everyday stress can eat away at quality conversations. This is why intentional communication is so important. Setting aside time to truly talk, without phones buzzing or TVs blaring, create space for connection. Whether it's discussing how the day went, sharing future plans, or exploring deeper emotional concerns, prioritizing those conversations ensures the relationship stays alive and evolving. A relationship that lacks communication begins to feel stagnant, while one that nurtures dialogue continues to grow stronger over time. Of course, communication also involves tone, body language, and empathy. Words are powerful, but how they are delivered can amplify or completely change their meaning. A kind tone, eye contact, and a willingness to approach discussions with empathy soften even the hardest truths. When both partners learn to communicate not from a place of ego, but from a place of love and respect, the relationship transforms from a battlefield of misunderstandings into a sanctuary of connection. A healthy communication is not about perfection. Every couple has moments of frustration, raised voices, or misunderstandings. The true measure is how quickly and constructively they return to the table to clarify, apologize if needed, and find resolution. Over time, this process of consistently choosing understanding over conflict creates an unshakable trust. You begin to know, deep down, that no matter what happens, you and your partner will talk it through and come out stronger. That knowledge alone brings peace and security, making the relationship a source of strength in an otherwise unpredictable world. Mutual respect is one of the most powerful green flags in any relationship because it forms the invisible boundary that keeps love from becoming control or possession. When two people truly respect each other, they recognize that they are equal partners, not competitors or opponents. Respect shows up in everyday interactions, in the way someone speaks, in how they listen, and in how they honor the individuality of the person they are with. A relationship without respect becomes a breeding ground for resentment, but one built on it becomes a place where both partners can flourish. To understand the depth of respect, imagine being with someone who values your opinions, even when they differ from their own. They may not always agree with you, but they make you feel that your perspective is worthy of consideration. This is respect in action. It allows both individuals to be themselves without fear of being mocked, belittled, or dismissed. When respect is present, you don't have to constantly defend your worth or prove your intelligence. Instead, your partner sees and acknowledges it as part of who you are. Respect also extends to personal boundaries. Every individual has their own limits, whether emotional, physical, or mental. And a respectful partner understands and honors those limits. They don't push you into situations you're uncomfortable with, and they don't guilt you into saying yes when you want to say no. This kind of acknowledgement creates safety because it shows that your partner values your autonomy. A love without respect often turns into control, but love with respect nurtures freedom. You can make choices for yourself, and your partner celebrates rather than criticizes your independence. Another way respect manifests is in language. Words have power, and a respectful partner is mindful of how they use them. They avoid sarcasm that cuts deep, insults during heated arguments, or dismissive tones that belittle. Instead, they choose words that express their feelings without degrading yours. Even in moments of conflict, respect acts as a boundary line that prevents a disagreement from turning into emotional damage. It's not about suppressing anger, it's about channeling it in a way that doesn't harm the person you love. Respect is also visible in how partners support each other's time and commitments. For instance, if one person has an important meeting, a creative passion, or even just needs some solitude, a respectful partner doesn't view this as rejection, but as part of the balance of a healthy relationship. They don't demand constant attention or make you feel guilty for prioritizing responsibilities. Instead, they respect your time, your goals, and the space you need to maintain your individuality. Ironically, this space strengthens rather than weakens the bond because it prevents suffocation and dependency. In long-term relationships, respect becomes even more essential because it sustains attraction in deeper ways. At the start, passion and excitement may carry the connection, but as time passes, what keeps love alive is how much you value each other. Respect means acknowledging each other's growth, adapting to change, and continuing to treat one another with kindness. Many couples drift apart not because they stop loving each other, but because they stop respecting each other's evolution. When you respect your partner, you admire them not just for who they were when you met, but for who they are becoming. Mutual respect is also about reciprocity. It has to flow both ways. If one partner respects and the other constantly disrespects, imbalance arises and resentment builds. Both individuals need to feel valued equally. This balance ensures that neither person feels diminished or overlooked, and both feel proud to stand beside each other. It's not just about being polite, it's about treating your partner in ways that consistently affirm their dignity and worth. Ultimately, respect strengthens love because it communicates without words. I see you. I value you. I honor you. It is the thread that weaves through communication, intimacy, and trust, making all of them stronger. Without respect, a love struggles to breathe, but with it, a relationship becomes not just survivable, but deeply fulfilling. That emotional safety is the invisible shield that protects intimacy and connection in a relationship. It's the sense that you can reveal your true self without fear of being judged, ridiculed, or rejected. When emotional safety exists, you don't need to hide behind masks or pretend to be stronger, happier, or more perfect than you are. You can be vulnerable, and instead of being met with criticism, you're met with care and understanding. This creates a bond so deep that it feels like a safe harbor in a chaotic world. One of the clearest signs of emotional safety is the ability to express your feelings honestly. In many relationships, people hold back their emotions because they worry their partner might dismiss them, react defensively, or use their vulnerability against them. But when emotional safety is present, partners can say, "I feel hurt," or "I feel insecure," and know that their emotions will be taken seriously. This doesn't mean the other person always has the perfect solution, but it means they offer compassion and validation. Being seen and heard in this way builds trust and intimacy that no surface-level attraction can replace. Emotional safety also plays a key role in handling conflict. Arguments are natural in any relationship, but the way they unfold determines whether the relationship grows or weakens. In a safe environment, conflicts don't escalate into shouting matches or personal attacks. Instead, both partners can express their frustrations without fear of being insulted or belittled. Even when tempers rise, emotional safety acts like a boundary that prevents harm. You may disagree fiercely, but deep down, you know the love and respect remain intact. That sense of security makes it easier to resolve issues and move forward without carrying emotional scars. Another dimension of emotional safety is the freedom to dream and fail. In a secure relationship, you can share your wildest ambitions or deepest fears without feeling silly. If you fail at something, your partner doesn't use it as an opportunity to belittle you, but stands by you with encouragement. This creates a growth-oriented partnership where both individuals feel empowered to pursue their best selves. Emotional safety becomes the fuel that propels personal and shared dreams because it assures both partners they won't be abandoned in moments of weakness. It also extends to everyday interactions. Emotional safety is found in the small moments, when you admit you had a tough day, when you show your quirks, or when you express affection in your unique way. If your partner welcomes these moments without criticism, it reinforces the idea that you don't need to censor yourself. Over time, this creates a sense of deep comfort, where the relationship feels less like a performance and more like home. Many people underestimate the role of nonverbal cues in creating emotional safety. Tone of voice, facial expressions, and body language can either soothe or threaten a partner's sense of security. A gentle touch, a calm tone during disagreements, or even consistent eye contact communicates care and attention. When partners become mindful of these subtleties, they create an atmosphere where love feels steady rather than fragile. Emotional safety doesn't mean avoiding tough conversations or hiding flaws. In fact, it means the opposite, being able to confront difficult issues while knowing the relationship is strong enough to handle them. When both partners feel safe, they can address insecurities, past wounds, or even disagreements about the future without fear of losing each other. This depth of honesty allows the relationship to evolve and adapt rather than crumble under pressure. At its core, emotional safety transforms love from a fleeting feeling into a lasting bond. It's what makes two people not just lovers but trusted allies. When you know your heart is safe in someone else's hands, you stop living in fear of rejection and start living in the freedom of love. This creates a profound connection where intimacy deepens, trust grows and the relationship becomes a refuge where both people feel whole and accepted. Shared values act like the compass that guides a relationship through both calm and stormy waters. While differences in personality, hobbies, or even cultural backgrounds can enrich a partnership, having aligned core values is what determines whether two people can truly move forward together. Values are not just opinions. They are the principles that shape how we live, what we prioritize, and what we expect from life. When those values align, the relationship feels harmonious, but when they clash, it often leads to constant friction and confusion about the future. Consider a couple where one person values honesty above all else, while the other is comfortable with half-truths to avoid conflict. Even if there is love, that mismatch will create tension. Trust will be questioned, and small disagreements can escalate into bigger issues because their moral compass points in different directions. On the other hand, if both partners hold honesty as a non-negotiable, they may still argue, but they will resolve problems through transparency rather than deception. That shared foundation keeps them united even when they disagree. Shared values also influence long-term decisions. For example, if one partner dreams of a big family while the other does not want children, the mismatch eventually forces difficult conversations. Similarly, if one person values financial stability and the other believes in living freely without planning, their future goals may collide. Relationships thrive when partners are aligned not just in what they want today, but in the principles guiding their tomorrow. Values create the blueprint for those shared dreams, whether it's about building a home, traveling the world, or pursuing certain lifestyles. Beyond big life choices, values shape everyday behavior. A partner who values kindness will naturally extend that to how they treat not only their significant other, but also strangers. A partner who values ambition will likely encourage growth and self-improvement in both themselves and their relationship. When these values align, both people feel that they are moving in the same direction. There is less need to convince, persuade, or compromise on things that feel fundamental to one's identity. Instead, energy can be spent building together, rather than negotiating differences at the core level. Another benefit of shared values is the sense of security it provides. Life is unpredictable, and challenges inevitably come. But when partners share the same principles, they approach those challenges as a team. Whether it's dealing with financial stress, raising children, or handling external pressures from family or society, shared values act as the glue that holds them together. There's comfort in knowing that your partner views the world in a similar way, and that they will make decisions with the same ethical or moral standards you hold dear. Shared values don't mean that everything will be identical. In fact, a healthy relationship leaves room for differences in preferences and individuality. You might enjoy different hobbies, have different friend groups, or even disagree on minor issues. But values touch the essence of who you are. If you both value loyalty, you won't question each other's faithfulness. If you both value growth, you'll encourage each other to evolve. If you both value respect, you'll never tolerate belittling or controlling behavior. These values become the invisible agreements that shape the culture of the relationship. It's also important to recognize that values evolve over time. What matters most in your 20s might shift in your 30s or 40s. A healthy relationship involves revisiting those values and ensuring they are still aligned. For example, a couple might initially value adventure and travel above stability, but later in life, they may value security and family. If both partners shift in similar ways, the relationship adapts seamlessly. But if one person evolves while the other clings to old values, cracks begin to form. Maintaining open conversations about what truly matters ensures that the partnership remains in sync. Ultimately, shared values give direction and purpose to love. They act as a foundation that is stronger than fleeting emotions, ensuring that when passion fluctuates, as it naturally does, what holds two people together is something deeper and more enduring. When values are aligned, the relationship becomes more than just a partnership. It becomes a shared journey built on principles that both people believe in with all their hearts. Equal effort is one of the most vital green flags in a relationship because it ensures that love and responsibility do not rest unevenly on one person's shoulders. When both partners consistently invest in the relationship, it creates balance, fairness, and mutual appreciation. Without equal effort, one person eventually feels drained while the other becomes complacent, and that imbalance breeds resentment. But when both individuals show up for each other in meaningful ways, the relationship feels like a true partnership where each person knows they are valued and cared for. Effort in a relationship can be expressed in countless ways. It might look like initiating conversations, planning dates, showing affection, or offering emotional support during tough times. What makes it powerful is not grand gestures, but consistency. Anyone can surprise their partner with flowers once in a while, but genuine effort is demonstrated in the daily acts that say, "You matter to me," a good morning text, a listening ear after a stressful day, or taking the time to ask how your partner is really feeling all add up to a pattern of care. When both people make these small but consistent efforts, the bond becomes stronger every day. Equal effort also applies to problem solving. In a healthy relationship, when conflict arises, both partners take responsibility for their role and work together toward resolution. If only one person is always apologizing, initiating discussions, or trying to mend the cracks, the imbalance becomes exhausting. But when both people recognize that maintaining harmony is a shared duty, arguments turn into opportunities for growth. Instead of battles that leave one person defeated, equal effort in resolving conflict shows that both partners are equally committed to the relationship's success. This balance is also evident in supporting each other's dreams and responsibilities. One partner might be working toward a career goal, while the other manages household tasks, or one might be pursuing studies while the other provides encouragement. Equal effort doesn't always mean doing the same things, but it does mean contributing in ways that feel fair and supportive to both. Each person asks themselves, how can I make my partner's life easier? How can I show them I am in this with them? That willingness to contribute creates a strong sense of teamwork. Another dimension of equal effort is emotional labor, the work of checking in, remembering important dates, or recognizing unspoken needs. In many relationships, one partner often carries this invisible load, which can leave them feeling underappreciated. But when both people share this responsibility, the relationship feels lighter and more fulfilling. Each partner makes an effort to notice the little things, remembering what the other likes, offering comfort without being asked, or celebrating achievements, no matter how small. It communicates, I'm paying attention, I care. Effort also has a ripple effect on intimacy. When both partners put energy into nurturing physical and emotional closeness, the relationship stays vibrant instead of becoming routine. This could mean initiating affection, keeping romance alive, or simply making time for meaningful connection in the middle of busy lives. Intimacy thrives when it's not left to just one person to maintain. Equal effort ensures that passion and connection remain mutual rather than one-sided. It's important to recognize that equal effort doesn't always mean identical effort. Life circumstances change. One partner may go through illness, career stress, or personal struggles that limit what they can give. In such times, the other may carry more of the weight, but the balance eventually returns. Equal effort is about long-term fairness, and not moment-to-moment equality. What matters is that both individuals remain committed to showing up for each other whenever they can, and that no one feels taken for granted. At its heart, equal effort communicates commitment. It reassures both partners that they are not alone in building and sustaining the relationship. Love may spark the connection, but effort keeps it alive. When two people consistently give, support, and invest in each other, the relationship becomes a source of energy rather than a drain. It turns into a partnership where both feel equally responsible for its growth and equally grateful for what they receive. That balance makes love not just sustainable, but deeply rewarding. A support for growth is one of the most beautiful indicators of a healthy relationship, because it demonstrates that love is not about holding someone back, but about lifting them higher. When two people come together, they each bring dreams, ambitions, and a vision for the kind of person they want to become. A partner who supports growth understands that being in love does not mean staying the same forever. It means evolving together, encouraging each other, and celebrating progress even when it looks different for both individuals. In relationships where growth is discouraged, partners may feel trapped. One person might fear outshining the other, or they may feel guilty for pursuing personal goals because their partner interprets it as neglect. This kind of dynamic slowly suffocates ambition and can lead to resentment. In contrast, when growth is celebrated, it creates freedom. You know that you can explore your passions, improve yourself, and even make mistakes without being judged or resented. Your partner becomes not a barrier, but a cheerleader who stands by you every step of the way. Support for growth shows itself in many ways. It might be as simple as encouraging your partner to take that class they've been hesitant about, or as significant as moving cities so they can pursue a career opportunity. Sometimes it's offering constructive feedback, while other times it's just being a quiet source of strength when self-doubt creeps in. Growth is rarely a straight line. And knowing that someone believes in you even when you stumble gives you the courage to keep going. This is the power of a supportive relationship. It multiplies confidence and builds resilience. A growth in a relationship isn't only about careers or external achievements, it's also about personal development. It could mean encouraging your partner to work on emotional healing, supporting healthier habits, or standing by them as they learn to manage challenges like stress or insecurity. When you witness your partner striving to become the best version of themselves, and you actively support that journey, the relationship becomes a nurturing space where evolution is welcomed. Both individuals begin to feel like they are not only loved for who they are, but also for who they are becoming. This type of support also prevents relationships from becoming stagnant. Over time, people change, their goals shift, their priorities evolve, and their interests grow. A relationship that resists this change often breaks down because one or both partners feel stuck. But when both individuals embrace growth, they adapt together. Instead of fearing change, they see it as an opportunity to deepen the bond and discover new sides of each other. This flexibility is what keeps long-term love alive because it allows the relationship to remain dynamic instead of rigid. Another important aspect of supporting growth is removing jealousy and comparison from the equation. In some relationships, one partner's success may trigger insecurity in the other. But in a healthy relationship, your partner's growth feels like a shared victory, not a threat. You celebrate their achievements as if they were your own, because in many ways they are. Their happiness and success spill over into the relationship, enriching both lives. True love means wanting to see your partner shine, even if their light sometimes outshines yours for a while. Support for growth also requires patience. Growth can take time, and it often involves setbacks. A supportive partner doesn't withdraw affection when things don't go smoothly. Instead, they remain steady, offering reassurance that progress matters more than perfection. Sometimes, The simple act of believing in someone when they doubt themselves is the most profound support you can offer. That unwavering faith can be the difference between giving up and persevering. Ultimately, supporting growth strengthens the relationship itself. As each person evolves individually, they bring new energy, skills, and perspectives into the partnership. This keeps the connection vibrant and alive. The relationship becomes not just a place of comfort, but also a source of inspiration. Both people feel that they are better together than they would be alone, not because they rely on each other for identity, but because they empower one another to grow into the fullest expression of themselves.